my friend reminded me of my favorite exchange with Charlie. It was very funny. And it was actually, it arose out of a time when Charlie was in trouble with the left for having said something that they thought was terrible and I knew wasn't terrible. And it was part of his courage in saying something that everybody believes, but they would never say it out loud. It was about how they were so focused on hiring women and black pilots and minority pilots and going from 3% to 50, right? 3% to 50, that we were going to have to worry about who the hell was flying the planes. Because it was like, what do you mean? There's black people are only 13% of the population. How are we going to have 50% of them being pilots? Anyway, so Charlie said that, and then everybody said he was a racist, which was bullshit. Oh, sorry, which was bull. It happened. Never mind. Hey, force of habit. And hold on, let me find it. Here, he came on my show January 2024 and made the following point as only Charlie could. SOT 22.
DEI invites unwholesome thinking. And I said, and I was saying in the clip, that's not who I am. That's not what I believe. But what it does is it makes us worse versions of ourselves, Megyn. That's the whole point of what I was saying, is that I now look at everything through a hyper-racialized diversity quota lens because of their massive insistence to try to hit these ridiculous racial hiring quotas. 3 to 4% of current pilots are blacks right now. 3 to 4%. And now they want to say this is just a hiring class of candidates. Are there enough candidates to fill the 50% quota? And the other question should be asked is, why is it a problem? Let's just ask the premise. Why is it a problem that 81% are white? And I love the Axios guy. Well, white males are dominating the cockpit. Yeah, those pesky safe flights are dominating our society, Megyn. all those 25 years of commercial airliners that have kept on, dominating as if like the white male is like oppressing us with, their beautiful landings through turbulence and storms.
Just because he said that at the end, I think a great little Charlie thing, every time a plane took off, he would say, "Lord bless this flight," right as it began to accelerate. And then when I joined, I would add, "Lord bless this landing," because I find that a pretty important part of it.
That helps. So tell us something about Charlie that we don't know.
Oh, man.
Who's got one of those? Blake, Mikey.
I think
we also have two. We have two new guest stars
Mikey
here.
I
want to tell everybody we have Daisy Phelps and we have Emma Kate Bartels. And Emma Kate, you did Charlie's social media. And Daisy, you seem like you did everything.
Media director. I just kind of explain it as podcast media, digital media, sponsorship media. Whatever Charlie said.
Did for Charlie and now will continue doing for Erica and for Turning Point.
We're all in it.
Sorry, yeah. What were you going to say?
So one of the things Mikey and I agreed we were really happy he got to do. One of the things about Charlie is he was so famous. He had no anonymity anymore in America. And he actually really liked going out on walks. And so we were actually in Asia just the weekend before this happened. And we were in Seoul. And I'd been there a little bit early. I was going to a wedding for a friend of mine. And so when he got in, I was like, Charlie, the best way to understand the city, just kind of walk around and see how it's different. And so, we were there. He got in on a Friday. And so I think Saturday morning, he just got up extremely early, 5:30 a.m., and he just started walking around the streets of Seoul. And for once, he got to just wander a city. And he was just, for most of the people there, he was just kind of this foreigner wandering around their city.
He's tall for American standards.
He would draw everyone's gaze.
Korean.
He would draw everyone's gaze, but for once he could just wander a city as a traveler, and he really liked to do that.
I didn't realize what a big walker he was.
Big walker.
Yeah.
My version of tourism is you stop at a cafe, you eat, you keep walking, you stop, you shop. Charlie's is you just walk. And it was 90 degrees, 90% humidity. We're sweating through our suits, and we're all like, when is he going to stop? When is he going to stop walking? Finally, he stopped at a coffee shop, and we were like, okay, we're going to get like 10 minutes in here. No. 2 minutes, and we're back out in the heat.
But like no vices, right? Like, did he even get the coffee or did he get the midnight tea?
He got the mint tea.
Yeah, the mint tea.
Classic mint tea with 2 honeys.
No alcohol,
everyone's
no
been
caffeine.
getting now. There are so many outside of HQ people leave their mint majesty with 2 honeys.
Did you see that story, Daisy? Of they posted it on X. An older woman, a grandmother, went into a Starbucks and asked for that, and they gave it to her, and they wrote "loser" on it. Well, her family unleashed holy you-know-what on this Starbucks to the point where they were temporarily closed when the family went back to find accountability. It's amazing, though. It's like the story's not about some loser who wrote "loser." right? It's about people have had it. They're pushing back Charlie style because the confrontation was actually very polite, but it was like, you're not going to do this to us.
Well, and what's funny is we had just at our Student Action Summit in Florida, we did a Prove Me Wrong, which was kind of the first we'd done at one of our own events. So it was supposed to be more lighthearted. Pretty much everyone that's there loves Charlie, is his supporter. And so most of the questions, some of them were like about the Bears, the Cubs, what if he likes waffles or pancakes, and then what his Starbucks order was. Because we talked about it the other day, but he would have these cough drops all the time, and people would think they were Zyn. They were just cough drops. He had to have them for his throat, and then people would ask what his Starbucks drink was, and everyone was guessing in the crowd. And Emma Kate posted that video, and it went viral.
Yeah.
They loved knowing what he had. They just love real stories of him.
You're
right
incredibly
now.
talented. Charlie's social media is next level. So I don't know how you manage that. But through the social media right now, people are reconnecting with him or connecting for the first time in like a really unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it.
100%. I saw a TikTok this morning of somebody saying they tried to silence Charlie, but I hadn't really seen his videos or paid attention to them. He was like, now I'm going down a Charlie Kirk rabbit hole. I'm watching every video. I'm listening to every podcast.
We all are.
He was like, I can't believe I'm just now discovering this, but I feel so blessed that there's so much on the internet that even after his death, people are still getting to know him and love him.
It's one of the few blessings around this thing is like all the hours of tape.
I think I saw the same one where he was like, you guys made me obsessed with Charlie. I didn't even know him until this.
Right. Now, speaking of obsessions, you two share one and Charlie tapped into it more than once. Tell us.
Just any sort of Taylor Swift news that come up, he would just be like, explain this, what's happening? And then when we were in the office when the news broke about them getting engaged, and Charlie was so excited for them. He was like, this is amazing. More people should get married and have kids. This is a great example for everyone.
So on brand.
Like, yes, exactly. We're so happy for Taylor.
Well, I have a question about Charlie for you guys. So, I mean, he was human. There were people who would irritate him. I know because I talked to him about some of those people. How would he handle that? Like Taylor is one of them. She came out and she endorsed Kamala. She said it was because of Kamala's LGBTQ stance. Of Tim Walz actually was, I mean, crazy statements. So how would he get past that and then be he seemed to be able to do that with everybody.
I would say for the most part, instead of him getting irritated by people in pop culture, it more so just went to the side of him, and he wouldn't really pay attention to it until we'd be like, hey, this is what I remember one time. He's like, what is Brat Summer? Because everyone's talking about it. It didn't annoy him because he didn't even know about it. He was just so focused on what he needed to do.
Yes.
So we'd be like, Charlie,
so
this
what
huge
we're
thing is
gleaning
happening.
here is Charlie was a nerd.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is fine. I mean, Andrew was telling me about how they intentionally made him not nerdy for the Prove Me Wrong segments. Like maybe we won't wear the suit. Maybe we'll wear a T-shirt. And that worked, right? He gained a lot of extra fans.
He still was pretty alpha. I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting combination, right? Because he was a brainiac, but he was alpha.
Yeah, and he was like the ultimate pinnacle example of what being a man is. And so being more like Charlie, he would never drink alcohol. Yeah. He'd go to the gym. He always ate healthy. He always had that Starbucks order. He always took care of his vocal cords with his throat coats and everything.
Discipline.
He was a disciplined alpha male. And when he had to tap into the nerdy side of him to learn something, he would tap into it.
Well, how did he? So he didn't want you to go to college, and you agreed not to. And then did he put you through college?
Yeah. I think I learned more under Charlie, but I also, one of my favorite stories of Charlie, since we're all just kind of going around, probably my favorite, we were at the RNC, and JD had just come out on stage, and whether you guys know it or not, Charlie played a role in JD being the vice president. And he comes out on stage. Charlie was so excited. We snuck on the floor. We didn't have a pass. We went to the very front. It was just me and Charlie. And JD says something about Joe Biden, and this was right after the debate. And everybody was like, Joe's got to go. Joe's got to go. Joe's got to go. And Charlie turns around, looks at me in this cinematic way, and he goes, careful what you wish for. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next, I think a couple days later, I don't even remember, Kamala Harris is the nominee.
I know.
That summer was
like,
crazy.
Yeah, more fundraising, more battles, more pain.
Right.
Charlie was very funny, and he had so many funny one-liners where he wasn't trying to be funny, but it was just those quick little ones. Like I can remember on Juneteenth this year, he sent us a video. He said, I can't remember exactly what he said. He said, happy Juneteenth. I'm on my way to work. go to work today. Everybody have a good day.
You did not take off that national holiday. Is
No,
that
we
what you're
did not.
telling me?
We were here working, but it was just those funny little selfie videos he would always send in our chats, where most of them would get posted on TikTok or stories or whatever. But
Like
they
what?
were
Like
just,
he would send videos of himself to the team?
just selfie videos, just doing little quick commentary on whatever was happening, or just telling a story or giving updates. And it was always those really short ones that I loved the most, because they were just so funny without trying to be funny, and people loved them.
That's hilarious. So it wasn't necessarily for social media, but it was like for all of you.
Yeah, and we would post them a good amount, but it was just, it was just kind of a little bit of behind the scenes Charlie.
Yeah.
That, people loved to see it.
A really fun behind the scenes Charlie. So he was a sports fan, and the way he would consume it had to be very intense, because he doesn't have, other than Saturday, which he always was strict about taking off, he didn't have the time to just lounge around watching the game. So the one I'll always remember is shortly after I joined, we had the World Cup in Qatar, and he was all invested in the U.S. doing well. And so he was watching the World Cup games on his phone during the show and was reacting to things in the game during the segments.
He'd
That
also
was-
always
yeah.
have the iPad with him. He
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
had an iPad with him,
Yeah.
and he was always watching sports on the side.
So
same
the
with-
Cubs, Erica mentioned the Cubs. And did she say the Ducks?
Big
Yeah,
Ducks
Oregon.
fan.
We have
Huge.
a flag that
Now,
we had in
why?
the studio for a while.
Why?
It's where his family went to college, and he wanted to inherit a college football team, and it was his. He was so passionate.
He would
about
sometimes
that.
say, I just want to retire and go coach college football. That was what
Yeah.
he would say if he was
Yep.
frustrated. Like, I should just quit and go coach college football.
Same
mean-
with the Olympics and March Madness. We had iPads set up all around the studio, so he would constantly know what's happening in the games.
When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to 10 grand. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.